We need some people. What's up? Where's everybody at on this Sunday? We got one person viewing in right now. Man, why don't you tag a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend the 48 Sports Zone's on. We got some things to talk about from Friday night. Listen, you two people that are on right now, have you went to my YouTube page and subscribed? 48 Sports Zone on YouTube will have exclusive highlights with coaches. It'll have exclusive highlight with players, with faculty members. So, man, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, 48 Sports Zone. 48 Sports Zone on YouTube. We'll do a little recap from Friday night. You know, Friday night was the first night that a lot of us have graced the sidelines at Bourbon County. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it was kind of odd. But you know, hey, that's what scrimmages are for. That's what preseason's for. And that's what that was Friday. Friday for me at 48 Sports Zone, it was preseason. I mean, we didn't have the right camera set up, you know, and we still had views. We had almost 4,000 views Friday. So I thank the people who watched. I know they didn't watch the whole game, but at least almost 4,000 people tapped in to see what was going on. They probably didn't watch it because it was so far away. It was like an eye exam from back in the days. But, you know, this Friday will be better. This Friday is a doubleheader game. The Colonels will take on West Jessamine. And, you know, the Greyhounds will be taking on Frankfort. You know, the Hounds usually play Frankfort first game every year. That's how it's going to be this year. And Bourbon County plays West Jessamine. Not sure what the history is with West Jessamine in Bourbon County, but it don't matter. You can throw all that out the window. It's a new regime up there. It's a new culture. So whatever the past has been between West Jessamine and Bourbon County, you got to scrap that. You got to erase that. It's a new game now. It's new leaders, new kids, new attitudes, and you know, that's what it is, man. That's what it's about. So listen, this week, 48 Sports Zone will be going live this week. Once we watch some film tomorrow, I can tell you a little bit about West Jess. I'm not sure with them. These teams on Bourbon County's roster, I mean, on their schedule this year, are teams that I'm not familiar with. I'm not sure what these teams can do. And that's what film's for. You know, we got a group of people, man, that love to sit down and watch film, break down other teams. So, you know, this week, ain't nothing going to change. We'll break down film against West Jess, try to come out and make these Colonel fans proud, make these Colonel fans stay at the game. You know, I know a lot of fans have been used to leaving after the band performs. Hopefully that's not the case this year. Hopefully fans stay and watch the whole game. Also, you know, owning a t-shirt business, every week we come up with a new shirt. We come up with a new shirt for the Colonel fans to wear. And, you know, this week won't be no different. I have a new shirt that we'll come out with, and I'll post it Monday. And You know, it'll be available Friday at the game if you purchase a shirt. Ain't nothing like looking up in the stands, man, and seeing everyone wearing your alma mater's shirt. You know, kids want to look up in the stands and see their family or see their friends wearing Bourbon County stuff. So we will have A&W Custom Apparel. We'll have some shirts this week. Also, I'm going to talk a little bit about sponsoring. You know, we pretty much do this independently, man. You know, I do this by myself, and, you know, I'm not going to say monetarily wise successful, because it ain't about the money for real, but it's been successful in the fact that, you know, whatever I cover gets exposure. It gets exposure simply because of the views. And, you know, if you have a business, or if you just want to donate, you know, for the work that I'm doing, you can inbox me and let me know how. I don't have Cash App, I have Venmo. And typically what I do is, if you own a business for $48, you know, your business gets talked about all the time. You know, last year I done it for the first time, and, you know, everyone that you know, donated and sponsored that week, they got business from my views. So, you know, hopefully that'll continue here. You know, I've just moved locations, but my mission's still the same. I'm trying to get these kids exposure. I know what exposure means. I know what it can do for you. And, you know, a lot of people don't know about Bourbon County football. A lot of people recently here the last week, if they turn on the news, only thing they've seen is something negative about Bourbon County football. And that ain't the case. You know, isolated incident that, you know, I'm not privy to speak on, but I don't want that one incident to stain what's going on up on the hill, because, you know, they could be no further than the truth. You know, no, that type of whatever it was that went down, it's not being taught. So, you know, like, if you know anything about sports, and if you just watched how that game went Friday was, Bourbon was up early, 21-0. Then Williamsburg, you know, they scored, and then it got to the point that Williamsburg took the lead. And then, you know, on the last drive of the game, you know, Bourbon goes down and scores and wins the game. And I'll let you know that the football guys was not going to allow that to happen if it's foolishness being taught up on the hill. Why would you get rewarded driving down the field at the end of the game for a victory if you promoting foolishness? You know, because the first thing is, all the people up in the deer stand was going to be sitting around looking and waiting to say something, you know. And even though you put in your third and fourth string players, you know, you try to get a feel of the game still. You know, this staff right here has got lofty expectations. You know, we just going to keep it 100. You know, we poke fun with Paris fans. Paris fans poke fun at Bourbon County. And, you know, like, from what I'm hearing, all indications of what I'm hearing is that, you know, Paris had a heck of an outing Friday night. You know, they had scrimmaged a Bath County team, and Bath County kind of handled them a little bit a week ago. Then they come back this week and punish Bath County. So, you know, maybe Paris. Listen, here's going to be the thing. I've been saying Greyhounds for 53 years. some now, kernels is in my vocabulary, and sometimes I may mess up and I may use Greyhound, you know, but hey, we got to get over that. After a while, that coming out of my mouth will probably be a afterthought. But in due time right now, in the meantime, I'm hearing, man, that Paris is going to be a tough out this year. And that's great. That's great because this town will be jumping if both teams are handling business. There's nothing like football teams handling their business. You play a game on Friday, and the thing about football is if you win, you talk about how good you was. Everybody talks about how good you was for 6 days until you play again. And if you lose, you got to feel that for another 6 days until you get to play again. So that's what makes football so special, the anticipation for that Friday night. It's not like basketball. It's not like baseball. It's not like where you play 4 or 5 games in a week and stuff. That ain't how football is. Football is an anticipation for Friday night under the lights. And there's no better feeling than that. And both teams winning, it just makes the town jump. Maybe the signs on the town around here say, good luck, Colonels and Greyhounds on Friday night. Because a lot of these signs, they're going to go one-sided. They don't support both teams. Some of these businesses don't. When I was over in Paris, man, I had to get on these businesses, man, about what about the Greyhounds, So, maybe these businesses will have something to promote as well on a Friday night. Both teams playing well. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything. I mean, if you look in the back right here, you see the orange, you see the white. Everybody knows me from Paris, but sometimes things don't work out. There's a lot of analysts that are ESPN, and then they get a job at Fox, or people move around. I'm self-proclaimed media. I'm doing this on my own. I don't have any credentials. I'm just doing this on my own. So, I'm in Bourbon County, and I'm gonna do what I was doing in Paris at Bourbon County. I'm going to promote these kids. I'm gonna get to know these kids. We're going to interview these kids. We're going to interview these coaches. We're going to get everybody to get to know everybody. Football's back. Football's back. Yesterday we had some 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th grade games over in Paris. Man, it was hot over there. It was hot. But, them kids, man, have been putting in this work, man. These kids that are playing right now, they've weathered the storm. They've made it through the hard times. Now this is when you get paid. When you play on Friday night, that's when you get paid. All the work is the week prior. All the work was the 2 months, the 3 months, the 2-a-days, the getting up at 5, the running, the doing all of that. All that's over with. Now it's time to get paid. You get paid on Friday. And how you get paid is you go to school on Monday and you have a good day in school. There's no way that you're going to go to school, have a bad day, and then be rewarded by coming out on the football field and having a good practice. It's not going to work like that. Sometimes, we fall victim to seeing people that we know that can do things like that. Everybody can't do that. Everybody don't have a talent to where they can half-ass do stuff and then come out on Friday night and then still look like the best player. You know, that's a small percentage of people. So, you know, we got to start the work week off right. We have to get in the film room. We have to get in the weight room. We have to pay attention in school. And this goes for every parent or every kid that's watching this. I don't care what school you go to. You're not going to get rewarded on Friday. And guess what? It might be false hope. You might get rewarded on Friday, but then you're not going to get rewarded after the year is over with, because you're not going to get to go to the next level where your talents say you should be. Because there's more to the game than just playing the game. You know, you're only out there on the field, or you're only out there on the court for a couple hours. But what are you doing all those other hours of the day? You know? And sometimes we have those kids that mess around all those hours, like I said. And then when it comes time to shine, they shine on Friday night. Or they shine on Tuesday at the game, basketball game or whatever. But you can only get by like that for so long until it catches up with you. So, you know, I'm just saying, if you want to go out there and be an asset to your team, if you want to make your mother and father proud, and you want to make your family proud, then, man, it starts in the classroom. You can't be in school acting a fool. You can't do that. You know, go to school, do what you're supposed to do, go to practice, and guess what? Repeat. You're going to do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then when Friday comes, now it's time to shine. That's when you get paid. That's payday. You know, most of the work week gets paid on Fridays. Why wouldn't a football player get paid on Fridays? Then you go out there and you play, and, you know, the refund is a victory. So, look, I can't wait till Friday. All this week, man, we're going to be doing interviews. We're going to be doing content on Facebook. We're going to be doing content on YouTube. Those interviews will not be on Facebook. The interviews will be on YouTube. So you have to subscribe to my channel, 48 Sports Zone, on YouTube, to be able to see those interviews and to see some of the videos. I'm trying to think about it. Is there anything else I want to touch bases on real quick? Like I said, sponsoring, $48 gets you a slot. You know, and I mean, we have more than one. Like, if you look on some of these people's social media networks, they have 50 sponsors. They got 50 sponsors and don't have the views I be having. You know, so, you know, if you're a big time business, you know, this right here, sponsoring what I'm doing, shows the community that you care about what's going on. You know, ain't nothing like, and then guess what I'm gonna do? I own a t-shirt business. So whatever company, if I only get one, like, okay, we got $48. Then we'll have a package where it's $148. The $148 package will be, I'm going to wear your shirt. I'm going to wear your shirt on my live. Every first day on will be brought to you, by your company. And, you know, that's for the $148. If it's $48, you know, we will talk about your business. Also, the $148, your logo will be pinned on the actual live that I'm doing as well. So, you know, if y'all know anybody that wants to donate, I mean, and even if you ain't even if you don't even own a business, if you just want to donate to what I got going on, I will pin my Venmo during the week, and we can make this happen, man. Like, you know, I had sponsors last year. All of them reached back out to me and let them know that, you know, somebody bought their product or came and ate at their restaurant because they said that they heard it here on 48 Sports Zone. So, like I said, almost 4,000 views last week on Friday, and you couldn't even see the screen. So just imagine this week, it's a real game, and you know, I'm just looking for sponsors. That's all I can say. I need to look official. I'm getting the same views some of these other people are, and you know, they're sponsored by everybody but themselves. You know, so hopefully we got some people around here that feel the same way about what I'm doing here for our community. So look, this is a big week for our town. Paris plays Frankfort, and Bourbon County plays West Jessamine. Like I said, it's a doubleheader up on the hill. The county got the late game. It's gonna be the place to be. So, you know, we ain't gonna stop now. People watch 48 Sports Zone while they're doing other stuff. So, you know, you go to the game, whatever respective game you go to, 48 Sports Zone still gonna be giving you content. And it's more than just what's going on the field, man. We just sit and chop it up. If you are tired of listening to your analysts that sound like that they're doing an auction, 25, 25, 35, 35, blah, 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 then, you know, subscribe to 48 Sports Zone. Craig Hill, man, what's up? Listen, Wheezy F, baby. Man, your hoodie, though, Hill. Listen, your hoodie, man. I still got your hoodie. You got to let me know when we can link up for your hoodie. It might not even fit no more. I don't know. It's been so long ago. But I still got some 48 Sports Zone hoodies that I ain't been able to link up with people, man, who bought 3-4 months ago. Like I said, we're going to have, man, what about the maroon and gold? Listen, man, look, the maroon and gold song right now is #1 right now on Apple Play. Listen, maroon and gold, listen, #1 on Spotify right now. #1 stream song right now in these parts of Central Kentucky right now. It's got a different swag up here on the hill right now, Hill. I don't know. The county in Tannis play this year. You know, and they trying to tell me to say something about the team up north. I don't know nobody talking about the team up north. I call them Tannis. You understand what I'm talking about? Tim Booty said we are headed to San Tannis back in the late 80s, and it's been Tannis since 80s with me. I don't know nothing about no up north. I don't. You know what I mean? So on the 48 Sports Zone, I listen. I don't know him about up north. I know him about Tannis. So that's what they're gonna be called for me. Now, whoever else does whatever is whatever. I ain't got nothing to do with them. But I know Harrison County, and I know Tannis, and that's my peoples over there, and I don't know nothing about all that other stuff. Okay? So it's a Sunday. I just wanted to jump on here real quick just to the date of the game. Man, I think it's the third game, man. So the first game is this Friday, so it'll be 3 more Fridays, man. I'm not even sure where it's at. It might be, I don't know if it's up on the hill at the county or the hilltop over in Tannis. I don't know where the game is. But wherever the game is, it's getting ready. A hill's going to be involved. I mean, a Craig Hill, a hilltop, up on the hill, some type of hill is going to be involved in this game. You know? So, man, I can't wait. Football's back. College football is getting ready to start. NFL football is getting ready to start. Man, them summer months, man, are so long without no football. Man, you know, now I watch baseball, man, in October. September the 5th in Tannis. Man, the game is September the 5th in Tannis, is what Charles Graves just said. So guess what, Hill? We coming over there. We coming. Like Prime said. Now, you know what I mean? I ain't been over to Harrison County since Dairy Queen was over there. Is Dairy Queen still over there, Hill? Is Dairy Queen still over there by that football field? Because I don't know. That's the last time I've been over there. There's a lot of places that I ain't been. There's a lot of places I ain't been. This county schedule is going to have us pulling out the Waze app. And I don't know where we're going. I ain't never been there before. So, but hey, this is all new to all of us. It's new to everybody down here, man. You know, it's been 4 years. This is going on the 5th year that, you know, we was over at Paris, man, and built Paris back up to the point, man, here's what we got to realize. Man, Paris got built to the point to where you got a coach, man, that's been coaching. And he's got, you know, he's done well in his career. And he came down here to Paris. This man been coaching for a long time, man, and he came to Paris. He came to Paris because of the tradition and the way that Paris was trending north. Everybody was watching 48 Sports Zone. Everybody was watching the news. They seen what Paris was doing. I mean, yeah, man, we ran into racing. We ran into to Sayre. But everybody seen what Paris was doing. And, you know, Paris has got pride, man, and Paris has got we got history to the point to where you got an old school staff that said, man, I want to come down here and be a part of what's going on down here in Paris. So this is different for everybody, man. You know, going up on the hill where, you know, the team has only won like a couple games in a couple years. Man, that's tough, man, you know. But the same loyal staff that was at Paris went to Bourbon County, man. So all you're doing, man, is just, you know, you're taking your loyalty. Loyalty goes a long way. You take the people that you trust, you surround yourself around people that you trust, and you use your formula, and you go try to change programs. You know, one program was changed to the point that it didn't take no time for them to get a replacement. So now it's time to go and revamp another program. You know, I mean, we put out the documentary, The Weight on Our Shoulders, and it was a little predetermined. We didn't know what was going on or what was going to happen. But man, we made changes, man. You know, and you can say that if you don't want to give the props, that's on you. If you don't see what changes was made, then that's your problem. You know, but it seemed like, you know, the man above seen it, because guess what? We was called to do the same thing right across the street, and it's gonna be done. It's gonna get done. You know, it's gonna get done. You ain't gotta worry about that. So, listen, keep subscribing to the YouTube channel and keep watching 48 Sports Zone, because you're going to see something that you ain't seen before, or you may hear something that you ain't heard before. So thank you guys, man. Almost 4,000 views last week on Friday, like I said, and it was probably people just skipping through, and I understand how the views go. But hey, it's more than a lot other people's doing. What we got here? Dirksen, Rec Bowl, Saturday, Montgomery versus Hazard. Okay. Man, how's Montgomery County looking this year, Dirksen? But we know we got Montgomery County. Listen. The county plays Montgomery County too this year. So, man, I can't wait. It's football time. Everybody's excited. Man, let's go play some football, man. Let's go. But here's one thing, like I said, man, we got those guys that are better than last year. Okay. Well, hey, man, that's all we can ask for. Teams have got to get better than what they were last year. But we got people, man, that prey on your downfall, and that's everywhere. We understand. And here's another thing. We ain't going to keep on talking about that neither, though. Because the haters will let you know who they are. I know who they are. I can tell. And that's okay. Dirksen said fun times under the lights. You best believe it. Like I said, man, this sport was so cold that you could only do it once a week. Ain't no playing Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I sound like an auction person. No. You play this one time a week. The anticipation is through the roof for that game on Friday. So listen, this week in the 40361, we got Paris and Frankfurt. I think Paris goes on the road down to Frankfurt, and we got West Jessamine coming up here in the Mingy Brother Bowl Friday. So, we're looking forward to this week. We're looking forward for everybody getting through practice, man, with no injuries. And like I said before, in order to shine on Friday, you have to put the work in through the week, and it starts at the classroom. And guess what? It may even start before then. How about when you get up in the morning, when you get out of bed, just make your bed up. Just start by making your bed. I ain't telling you ain't got to put military corners in it or nothing like that. Hospital corners like we used to do in the military. But make the bed look presentable. Start with that. And then guess what, man? You've accomplished something for the day. Now, I ain't saying stop there, but guess what? If you do one thing, man, it may lead to another. And it may keep going and keep going, man. So, I just encourage you, man. Just do something, man, in the morning to start your day off. Other than, whatever it is that you've been doing. So, and I know a lot of people do make their bed up. But then again, a lot of people don't. But like I said, I'm just an old military dude, man. I ain't talking about putting hospital corners in it. But just make it look presentable for when you work hard that day and you accomplish something. And then guess what? Now you come to the bed, man, and you pull the sheets back. If the sheets is already pulled back, if you get out of the bed, man, and then when you work all day, and then you look, and it's still got the same spot in the bed, it looks like you look like the Jumpman logo in your bed and your mattress and stuff, man. Come on, man. You ain't did nothing. You gonna come on back home, man, and you, especially if you got memory foam mattress, it's gonna look like the Jumpman logo in there. It's gonna look like you still live it. It look like you still in the bed, So let's start, man, by pulling your bed sheets back, man. That's what's up. What's up, doobie? What's up, baby? Yeah, man. Look, listen here. I'm getting ready to tap out. I'm getting ready to go. I usually don't go on Sundays because, that's the Lord's Day. And, I usually don't get on Facebook then. But look, man, we're going to pop off probably Monday or Tuesday. And we're going to get y'all guys ready for this upcoming week because it's a big week. Like I said, I can't wait. The Colonels, man, are looking for their first victory at home. They got a preseason victory. But I don't know when they might have won a game last year at home. I'm not sure. But our mission is to keep the fans in the stands. Let's keep the fans in the stands and let them know that the band ain't the only team that can march up and down that field. Okay? So, man, we see you this week sometimes. Like I said, thank you for supporting 48 Sports Zone. And I'll see y'all Friday. And if you know of someone who would like to sponsor, please inbox me. I'll holler at you.